think we elected a man who said we're done with all these wars and we have nothing but wars. I think it's a clear and continuing 60-year history of the Congress delegating power that it's not able to delegate by law. There's nothing in the Constitution that says the power to declare war can be delegated by the Congress. And yet we go to war time after time after time on the whim of a president. Currently, we're not only the whim of the president, but at the whim of the Israelis. In the greater scheme of things, the United States has only two allies in this world, and one is called Atlantic, the other one is called Pacific. And there's no terrorists coming to this country on a raft to attack us. But the politicians took care of that and let them all into the country for free. We are engaged in a war that is being fought for one reason, and it's called Greater Israel. The Iranians, until this war, were no threat to us. They were aggravating, but are you really going to believe that it's proper to go to war with a country because they can round up people to go out in the streets and say death to America? You find that painful enough to go to war? The United States' existence is dependent on staying out of as many wars as we can, and being men enough or adult enough to say that other people's tough luck doesn't require us to join them in their tough luck. And frankly, it's kind of like Gone with the Wind. Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. And that was the guidance of our first president. Stand on your own ground, not on someone else's ground. Why would you be an idiot and go and stand on someone else's ground to fight when it's got nothing to do with you? Wilson started it with the First World War. Lincoln is responsible for 1 million dead Americans, and no one ever declared war. So what do we do about that? What we have to do is decide whether we are a republic, a constitutional republic, or do we want to be a tyranny? Because at the moment, we are a tyranny. We have presidents who go to war off their own hook. We have a Congress who's owned by foreign countries. We have military people who are telling their soldiers or sailors that we have a chance to start light the fuse for the growth of Greater Israel. What has that got to do with America, except destroy it? And it's a time for all Americans to realize how serious this business of war is. It's not the cult of World War. World War II wasn't the cult of World War II. What we do is not history. We don't teach our history honestly. I'll tell you today that I will bet, out of all that information that Osama bin Laden provided to us through his public words, I will bet you that president never looked at one page of it, or any cabinet member. We are led by people who are in it for the money, who are in it for the glory, if there is such a thing in the way we conduct ourselves. And the time has come for Americans to know that. And I think if there's any blessing in this mess with Iran, it's to let them know that they're led by people who don't care about them, their children, the future of their country or their economy. And they're going to pay the price. We're all going to pay the price for this nonsense. And Persia is going to be there long after we've collapsed this country into an abyss.
We've been listening to Dr. Michael Scheuer, the former CIA chief of the Osama bin Laden unit. Also maintains a blog that you can follow online, non-intervention2.com. Also at 2mics.com. Several books by Dr. Scheuer: Through Our Enemy's Eyes, Imperial Hubris, Marching to Hell, and Osama bin Laden. All available on Amazon.